Hello, this is Hi Bob Warbob, and let's play some Ultimate General Civil War. Hello, and welcome back. Today, we are going to be playing Distress Call. So, I decided to go without the wirds, whatever you want to call them. Put myself in charge of the Lorenzes, put the guy I want to get to a major general in charge of the Springfields, a little bit bigger size unit, and that is pretty much it. So I'm not gonna lie, 38 seconds seems like a long time whenever you're waiting to get through it.
No, that was quick.
Oh, okay. I guess it's just me. So I do this a little bit differently. I found a way to peel their cavalry off and
nice.
trap them in the corner. So
I know I talked about this in my several playthroughs of this battle. If you position your troops just right where you're sending them now, you can ambush them coming across the ford.
Yep.
But it's kind of iffy. You might catch them at the ford. You might send them across the bridge to the south. You can then send guys to the south to shoot them up on the bridge instead. You can kill both of them. In earlier campaigns, I came over here. And I would fight the guys that are slightly to the left of where you are now and get some shots on them. So
you see their cav though, and you see the artillery.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm doing is their cav won't cross behind because of that skirmisher unit. So they will continue to go towards the corner instead. And then this other unit will come in and keep forcing them towards the corner, and then I will slowly move my infantry unit over, and that infantry unit will just walk straight past towards the fort because it wants to go to the fort. It doesn't want to fight me. Which is completely cheesing the AI. But yeah. So I try to get them out of range there. So I do get in a little bit of trouble here. I keep ignoring the cav, even though I shouldn't, because you really should pay attention to the cav.
Don't be surprised if that 2-star cav unit routes your no-star infantry unit.
Oh, it's a 1. Oh wait, it's the one that I have is a 1-star, but the little one is, yeah, it's only a no-star. It actually does get into melee for a second and almost loses me the stuff here. I was really close to losing. So we're able to take out an artillery unit and trap both of their cav units in a corner and trap B on the other side of the river and trap 2 units of infantry and 2 units of artillery on the bridge. Because of how many units I had that far north, their units spawn on the bridge. And I'm intentionally making them spawn on the bridge by sending that many men to the north.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually B came across the ford. That's
yeah.
Usually if you do that, they all go across the bridge. That's a nice opportunity. There should be a supply wagon right behind B, is my guess.
Yeah. If you push enough men north, the supply wagon will spawn on the bridge. But if you don't push quite enough, only B will. I've never seen B not spawn across the bridge. I mean across the crossing, because he always wants to go that far up for some reason. I don't know exactly what the rules are about him spawning and things, but see that unit just like walked right past everything that I had over here. Like, I don't understand what that guy was thinking, just letting me walk right past him. But he lets me. So I turn off my skirmishers and my cav down there because there's no reason for them to be sitting there taking shots whenever my my infantry unit can do all the work itself and gain all the experience from it. So we are already running circles, and we just got on the battlefield because pretty much all their units are already trapped except for just a few units that spawn up to the north. And they don't usually do a whole lot if you have everybody else trapped, and especially their cavalry, because their cavalry is usually what spots you, and that's what gets you in trouble, is their cav. So I think here I heard them start charging, so I went ahead and got my men ready for that. I was an idiot here and marched that unit right up to the cav and almost got myself in trouble there. It was real close. Oh, that skirmisher? Yeah. You see that skirmisher's in like 100% cover. There's just this little place that you can get into there where you can still fire at the bridge and be in 100% cover. And if you stand in that place, they gain almost no morale for shooting him, but yet you gain obviously a ton of morale for shooting them, and you gain, you know, obviously a bunch of kills. And it's always good to shoot out of 100% cover. It feels so much better than shooting any other time.
Yeah, it's always nice to hit them in 0% cover too. Bonus.
Yeah. There I am doing that cheat again, where if you see them targeting your skirmishers, you can break your skirmishers back in.
It's nice to see him get hit on both flanks. That should make him happy.
It should, but somehow he's still able to get off like most of a full volley, even though he's flanked on both sides. I guess I didn't get into melee there. I thought I was going to get into melee there. I need to actually tell my main unit to fire there, because there's no reason. Well, I mean, in all reality, you can switch places between your unit and the unit from, that's the AI unit, and in all reality, they'll gain more experience for firearms sitting in shooting at the cavalry, because it's in really high cover, and it doesn't keep retreating back like B does. B, you know, won't sit there and actually fight, which is realistic more than the other choices, at least.
Yeah, I'm surprised how aggressive he is here. Usually he's kind of passive until his reinforcements come in, but no, he's going after it. It's interesting.
I think it's because I keep putting my guy into the fortification, which is a bad idea for
well,
if you don't want him to attack. But I kind of want him to attack a little bit, at least.
Sure, with that, you have 2 units of artillery.
3.
And you get... Oh, yeah, 3. You have 3. Yeah. Plus, you know, you get the melee bonus inside the fort. And actually, if that fort is kind of glitchy, but if you're receiving fire from one direction, it's not bad. But if you receive fire from 2, you'll insta-route. But your fire out of it is very good.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for a no-star unit. So the whole trick is to not ever take fire from more than one direction.
It seems to me like it's, if I actually get both of them captured here, I was like, what? At 400, I still got captures? Holy moly. I was so proud of myself. I was like, now I have to do good. I have to keep this run. Both of them surrender at like right at 325, 360. So that one's 360. I think the other one's a little bit higher. Can't remember exactly where it's at.
Wow, nice.
And melee. There we go. 385 and 361. So I knew they were pretty close together. So now I've got 2 captures. So I've got enough captures there alone to hit my 1K captures, 1K men from captures. So I'm pretty excited about that. Brooks is just a little, that little skirmisher unit up there just gets me some vision as they come down a little bit better than if I didn't have him up there. So I just went ahead and had him be there just to make sure I can keep vision. If I had it to do over again, the only thing I'd really change, I think, is that Gibbon would be the one firing at the cav, and the unit, the no star. Well, actually, that's a 1-star. Oh, you get 1-stars in this battle? I thought you got no stars.
Oh no, your allied units here are 1-star.
Oh, all my units here are 1-stars then. Even my units are all 1-star.
Oh, and your unit, first one up there, I thought he was a no star.
No.
And of course, he has 2 and 3 stars. That's
which is brutal, but at the same time, it's not I mean, it's not that bad. It ends up, okay. And I think we get him. Yeah, we get him without him having a full volley, so that works. Going to get these skirmishers around on the side of B because I think he's got some good cover there, even though I don't know how he got into cover, but it's whatever. B just does whatever he wants to do, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the one interesting thing about this battle is you do have a ton of time. So if you get a guy behind this fort that you're about to attack and get spotting on his artillery, you can actually kill his artillery because you have so much time with your crappy artillery.
You know that he doesn't have any artillery, right?
Oh, you've already taken all of them out?
Yeah.
I thought he had one left.
Nope. 2 on the bridge and 1 behind him, and that's it. That's all he gets.
Oh,
He gets 3 artillery units and 2 cav units, and I've already isolated all of his special units. All he's got left is 4 units of infantry. That's it.
So now it's a question of just roll the artillery up and hit him with canister to make him miserable for a while.
There you go. Once I get to the position where I want to do that. But see, I don't really want to do that because if I did that, then I wouldn't be able to run in circles the entire time. Because then I'd be having problems with how do I keep containment on him while my units are firing canister at him. And I'm having all my artillery hold fire down there because I only have 3k in 3k in supply. If I had more supply, I would hold out. But that 1,000-man unit that I had down there to kill the guys on the bridge was using Lorenz's, and he does exceptionally well with Lorenz's on that bridge. That's probably the only reason he can do it solo as well as he can with those 2 little units of one skirmisher and that cav unit is because he has good rifles in Lorenz's. I don't know how he would do if he had 42s. I don't think it would be nearly as clean.
No. But your skirmisher and cav units can get flanking fire down there, which is...
Well, I don't want them to get flanking fire. I want my unit of infantry to get flanking fire, because that guy never took a shot. Those 50 losses he has is from the melee, not from the actual firing. He never got shot at.
Nice. Because
I wanted them to fire at that unit in 100% cover. That skirmisher unit 100% cover, because I didn't want to take any losses. So I did take a few in the melee, but then I'm gaining experience in the melee. Whereas while you're getting shot at, you're not gaining experience just because you're getting shot at. So I try not to take shots if I don't have to. That's just, I mean, it's pretty much my thought process whenever I go into a battle is how do I take as few shots as possible. And so I ran Denson up a little bit, and that was so that he would get seen. I was hoping that they would run after him, and it ended up working. But of course he's going to immediately target my unit in the fortification, and that's going to be a problem if he actually fires. So I go ahead and if he gets a shot from right there, he will rout your guy out of the fortification too. So I'm a little bit mad here because I should have just taken the shot on the unit in the fortification, because he's just an allied unit. So I was a little bit mad that I let Denson take even that little bit of a hit. I was shooting for like having almost a perfect run with Denson and the other guy on the other side. Didn't quite work out though. So now we've got the cav taken out. We just got to wait for B to come back for another hit. And I think that once he takes another hit and routes again, we'll just go after him at that point, because no reason not to. Tell our artillery to hold again, because we don't have any supply. So, and I really want to resupply Gibbon there, because Gibbon has like no supply at this point. He's fired way too much. So Diggler, or whatever his name is headed over there to give him supply. And we can move up and not have to worry about their artillery, because their artillery won't come after us, because they have no artillery, which is beautiful. I think, what time does this battle end?
I I think it's fairly late. I don't have Steam up.
I
You know,
have Steam up. I'm
I
gonna
always have the
pull it up.
Steam timer thing up in front of me when I play or I write down the time, and so I know how much time I have to fiddle around and
1800.
yeah.
So we definitely have time. So I wait for him to get past Warbob so that Warbob can actually get a flank shot instead of just like a regular shot. So I had him hold fire for that, and that allowed me to get a route on him before he got off a full volley. He did get off a bit of a volley there, but that's one secret, because if you waste your shot whenever they're still technically in front of you, then you won't be able to actually get like a one hit route on them, because at that point then obviously you don't have any more a shot to give at that point. So here we're gonna get into melee a little bit, capture the supply wagon. We're gonna try not to use their supply wagon at all, because I know I'm that short on money that I really cannot afford to. I should have. McHenry, I was an idiot with. You just move him over into the forest right off the bat is what I should have done, and instead I didn't. So then I'm going to cheat him into the forest instead because I made a mistake, which isn't really fair, but I easily could have gotten him over there if I just moved him from the beginning over there, and I froze is all there is to it. And
Happens.
then once he's in the forest like that, then it's easy. I don't even mind exchanging shots with a guy with me in 100. I mean, I don't think I'm actually in 100% cover, but it's pretty close. And him in the wide open, I'm fine with taking shots like that. And the fort can get shots on his side too. So
Yeah, I was looking at him coming forward and I was thinking, oh, just slightly out of place. This is gonna hurt.
yeah, but it's like I'm not actually out of place. I just didn't make the move. Like I was like, what did I do? What was I doing? I just sat there and I was like, oh, just let him come at me and I'll run Denson over behind him. No, you don't have the time for that. Denson is all the way on the other side of the fort. Like, and he's exhausted. All of these units are exhausted from running in circles. So I didn't think it through. I should have immediately paused, thought it through, and actually made a decision, actually in my mind, instead of just going with what I felt I could get away with, because I could not get away with that.
Well, I think one of the things that's a little different with, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed it, but these Confederate units have roller skates.
Oh, they
mean,
do.
If they're perked for speed, they are faster than your mounted cav with 3 perks. I mean, they are just deadly, and they can close the gap. I mean, they can start halfway across the battlefield and close the gap on one of your units so fast.
They can. During first bull run, I think I have my melee cav try to run down their cav, and I can't ever even like touch it. So there's that special place that you can sit right there and shoot at the fort in a way that counts as flanking from on the hill. The catch is that Richards has absolutely no ammo, and there's no reason for him to be sitting there doing that except to show that you can. So then I skip ahead, and here's what you were talking about, where you get your cannons basically within point blank range and absolutely destroy their day. You got to be careful about this fortification. A lot of this fortification is 100% cover.
Yes.
Inside of it. That's something we didn't really mention before now, but that is one of the very big concerns about this fort. And if I had one thing to take back about this, I would have spread out the infantry on either side of my artillery. They don't need to be that close to your artillery. Your artillery will push them away easy. So you need those infantry kind of spread out more to the side so that they don't want to route through the other side, because my other side is rather thin, as you can see. Like, I don't have a lot of coverage around the rest of the area, which is going to let them slip through my grip here much more than I thought they would. And part of that is also just the fact that, I mean, this is the USA infantry and they're just not that good. so they can't really like stop him in place with melee. So like Warbob there, I moved him back over. I shouldn't have done that. Everybody should be like rotating around the south, getting around them, because that cav unit is not going to stop them from routing.
No.
Not long term.
In fact, I was kind of surprised that he stopped.
I was too. But yet I didn't do anything about it, because then I was like lulled into a false sense of, oh, it's fine. They routed back from him. He must like have some weight to him. No.
No, I think what happened was he recovered and he went back toward the flag. I don't think he was intimidated by that cav unit at all.
Yeah. And you are 100% correct. That cav unit did nothing. And see, there, if Warbob had been over a little bit, Ransom wouldn't have done that. And then now I've got my units even further this way, and they really need to be getting around. And now multiple units routing to the north. I get Richards over, I get McHenry over, but it's already too late, really. Like, other units should be starting to wrap around, because these artillery units will keep them in place. I don't have to worry about that. The artillery is extremely good at pushing units. And even though I moved all these units over here, even closer, Daniel still just decides straight through your line. Solo, just balls to the wall straight through your line. Let's just do this. And it's like, if I'd had Gibbon a little bit further over, I could have had my other infantry units over there a little bit sooner. I didn't know what direction they were going to route. I had never fought this before. This way before. I played this battle many times, but I had never ended it in this way, because this is the first time that I had actually wiped out their artillery beforehand. Once I figured that out. And here they can fire at you from like forever away. You're not even in range anymore, and they're still firing at you. And you're like, ugh, that just annoys me.
Yeah, his range from inside that fort is crazy.
It's that guy next to the fort, the Walker, that got me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He's like firing downhill, I guess, but it's the same thing whenever you're firing into the fort from like all the way in the woods, like way back there. You're like, this is just dumb. Gibbon should have been up north like this whole time. These cannons can easily push them out. I need to stop worrying so much about them routing towards my cannons, because they're not going to route towards my cannons with 3 cannons sitting next to each other and firing like into their flank. Like that just, they don't route that way. Not with how few units I have on the other side. I need to better space them, is basically what it comes down to. And I'm like hesitating because I'm not getting them all routing at once. I'm getting one at a time that I'm routing, and it causes me to lose focus in a lot of ways. Like, I can't seem to get them all on my radar at the same time, so they keep, all these units are like just kind of scattering, and it makes it really hard. I hate. And now I decide, hey, my artillery are just making them run in circles and messing with me. I only have 30 minutes left. I'm just gonna try what I can at this point. See if I can get any captures out of this. And I'm just hoping for captures, basically, is what it comes down to. And I'm like, let's get in the fort. Let's see if we can beat him if we get in the fort. And I don't remember if we beat him once we get in the fort, but it looks like he's already routing anyway. And then he routes straight through. He routed all the way through the fort. Like, seriously. Into where my artillery are. Great times. It's like, it's amazing what happens in this game sometimes. You're just like,
well, to me, this looks absolutely normal. 2 Union infantry trying to pick a fight with 1 Confederate infantry that's routing and flashing white, and it's a stand-up fight.
Yeah, I've lost 50 men in this melee, probably. Oh, I think I finally captured him.
Yeah.
I lost like 50 men. It's like, he was routing like the whole time.
Yeah, and think about what you had to do. You ran a fortification in melee, you were hitting him with 2 infantry units from 2 directions, you got 2-on-1 in melee. You brought up, and I think the skirmisher unit was a big help because it put fire on him from even another direction. And it took all of that to take him out.
And then I moved just a little too close with Dennis in there, and Daniel just routes straight back the other way. And I'm like, dude, really? Like, I was pushing him towards that corner, and suddenly he just goes straight through my line. I'm like, I was so close to getting them both in the corner together. And then they're just like, nope, I won't do that.
Yeah, and now he's going to try to run to the far right corner.
Yep.
If you don't catch him, he's going to escape.
Well, I only got 10 minutes to catch him.
Yeah, you should get the 400. The 400 should die.
Nope. Incorrect answer. He routes straight through my 900 and gets away.
Yeah, that's 700.
He's not going anywhere. And you don't want to get that 100-man unit of skirmishers into melee there. See, right straight through him. I was like, what? I had 2 900s right there on him, and somehow neither one of them stops him from getting away.
Yeah, and the enemy unit of 300 fights to the death.
Yeah.
He's down to 390 men, and nope, I'm not giving up. I'm fighting.
Yep.
But you got 2,000 captures. That's excellent.
Yeah. But it's all reboard farmers. Still.
You're going to need all that for Shiloh.
Yeah.
Weapons to put men on the field.
So that's 655 casualties. I think I can pull it up here. 334 were mine, and I lost 139 after medicine at Philippi, and 334 after this one at after medicine.
Nice.
So far I've lost about 480 men, somewhere around in there. So we're looking pretty good. We're gonna get 1,000 men from the captures here. We got like 700 men from the last one. So we've almost got the maximum number of men that we can on legendary, kind of.
Yeah.
You get a few more if you put all your points into politics every time, but I don't see how you could go with like 1 AO like at all. Like, that's just, you can't do that.
No, you have to get to 6 AO by Shiloh, and you need 10 AO for Antietam.
I think you could pull 5 AO for Shiloh. You could, because it's still a 2K max size and 16 units each. Like, that's a lot of units. You're not going to be able to max size all those units.
No, I think with the men, well, sit down and do the I mean, I do before every battle of Shiloh, but every time I've tried to go in lighter, it hasn't worked out.
It hasn't worked out.
You might want to get, like someone said in my comment section the other day, at Shiloh, one of the things that might be helpful is 2 500-man skirmisher units to back you up and also provide melee in case, he charges into melee. It'll count as a 2-to-1.
I'm not sure I can afford the weapons for that.
Well, you probably have them. I mean, you probably have.
No, I've been selling them all off.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I understand that because you're so desperate to buy
anything. Yeah. I still only had 3K supply, and I sold off I sold down to 100 skirmisher weapons is what I did. And I only had the 100 skirmisher weapons because I needed that just to have like all the men in the army, basically. Right. I think it's just about wrapped up. Got a minute and 50 seconds or so. Basically just looking over the career points. It's going to be in AO, I believe, because you have to go AO at this point. You need to get to, I think either 3AO gets you to 2,000 men in a brigade. Is that right?
I can't. I just kind of pretty much go straight line to 6. Pretty much. You
have a couple points that you don't have to put in, but not very many.
Yeah, exactly. There's like 1
or 2.
Oh
no, I go politics here. I do, because I'm going to stay with only 8 units at First Bull Run. If you want to go more units at First Bull Run, then you have to put the point in AO to get the full 10 units. And I'm going straight for those Lorenzes. I'm just like, I want all the Lorenzes. That's like my number one goal is like I want the guns. Everything else can wait. I want the guns. Selling off. Yeah, I don't need the 12-pound howitzers. I don't want them.
No, and the 6-pounders are not necessary. I would buy the 20-pound parrots.
I do.
But,
think
but the reality is you don't need them.
Well, this has been a blast. Hope you guys have had as much fun as I've had. I'll see you again in the next episode. You guys have a good one,